Okay, I don't know how well you can hear me over the sound of the rain, but I finished this book yesterday, Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. Super, super good. I'll tell you about it later, but this is a library copy, and I love this so much that I am going to pick up a physical copy right now from a bookstore. I don't think anyone's waiting for my spot. I picked up 2 books. Ghosts, obviously, as intended. And I was so good. There were so many things I wanted to buy in there. I love this place. This place is amazing. But I could not refuse a Daphne du Maurier. I have Rebecca and I have Jamaica in, and I read both of them. I really want to read My Cousin Rachel, which I also saw in there, but I think I can find that one at a used bookstore. But don't look now, I have never seen this at any used bookstore, so I just could not say no, and it was the last copy on the shelf, so. Tiny book haul. First up is Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I finished this last night and I immediately knew that I had to go and buy a copy for myself to own. This is about a 32-year-old woman named Nina Dean. She's recently broken up with her long-term boyfriend, Joe. I think they were together for 7 or 8 years, and now she's ready to be in a relationship again. So it's about Nina's experience going on dating apps, I think for the first time, and meeting people there. She meets a seemingly wonderful guy named Max, and they hit it off, and then all of a sudden he ghosts her. I'm looking at the back because I want to make sure this is not a spoiler for anyone. As Nina is emotionally trying to work through Max ghosting her, she's also navigating changing friendship dynamics, because Nina's 32 and doesn't have kids, but a lot of the friends around her are getting married, having kids, having their first, second kid. She's trying to still be a good friend, but also learn how to fit within her friends' changing lives. And on top of that, Nina's dad has Alzheimer's, which is steadily getting worse and worse, and Nina and her mom, who they don't have the best of relationships, they have to figure out how to manage that moving forward. So Nina has a lot going on in her life. She also has a terrible neighbor that she's trying to figure out how to live with. But she's such a funny, witty, and cynical character. It's just such, I had such a blast following her thought process. At times it's very poignant, dealing with grief and loss, and you know, the title is called Ghosts. I think it's not just ghosts in the sense of that she got ghosted by her romantic partner, but it's also like the ghosts of her previous relationships, like her relationship with her girlfriends, the ghosts kind of their 20s, right? Them being in their 20s. And because Nina's dad has dementia, she's also mourning the loss of that parent-child relationship that she has with him, where he was the parent, and now she finds herself in a place where she almost has to step up and be the parent to her dad, who was a figure that she really looked up to. So thoroughly enjoyed this book a lot. I know this came out a couple of years ago, and when it came out I was hearing a lot about how good this was, so I'm really glad that I picked this up. I also picked up Don't Look Now. This is a collection of short stories by Daphne du Maurier. I, this year, became a big Daphne du Maurier fan. I read Rebecca and then I read Jamaica Inn, and I own both of those books. Although I have to say I hate the cover. Like, someone needs to go out and redesign Daphne du Maurier books, because I can't find a single cover of Rebecca that I like, and Jamaica Inn is same thing, but Rebecca is such an iconic book. I'm so shocked that there isn't a reworked, like, stunning cover of it. I saw this on the shelf and I couldn't say no because my resolve is weak, and I rarely see this in other bookstores, so I thought it was about time. Based on the description in the back, it seems like a lot of the short stories in here are suspenseful, thriller, chilling, psychologically astute, which I think is pretty on brand for Daphne du Maurier. I know like Rebecca is frequently marketed as a romance, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not a romance. So excited about this one. And then the last book that I picked up, I've grabbed this from Diesel in LA. I'm a big fan of Elif Shafak. I've read 10 minutes and 38 seconds in This Strange World when it came out, and I really liked it. And then I read The Architect's Apprentice a couple years ago, and I really like that one too. I just like how she writes characters. Like the plot of her stories I find aren't typically that crazy, but her characters are really, really well done. This is, I think, the newest book from her. There Are Rivers in the Sky. It seems to follow 3 characters: Arthur, London, 1840; Narin, Turkey, 2014; Zalika, London, 2018. Other than that, I don't really know what this book is about, and I'm fine with that. I find that a lot of the times for books, I don't know if people are like this, but the plot doesn't really matter to me. What's written on the back usually doesn't do the actual book justice anyways. I haven't read an Elif Shafak in a while, and I really, really want to. Blocked this overnight last night. So let's try it on. It's perfect. Look at this split hem. This is exactly the length I wanted. The fabric is super drapey. I really like this yarn. It's lightweight and so nice and flowy. The sleeve length is also pretty nice. I stretched them a lot when I was blocking it overnight, and I think it's actually a perfect length. The neckline is also pretty good. I was kind of worried about the neckline actually because it felt a little tight last night when I tried this on pre-block. So I made sure to stretch this part out a lot after it got wet, and I think it came out really nice. For my next project, I had planned to start working on the Nemo sweater. The pattern is by Cookie the Knitter. I own this pattern, I've had it for a while now, and I also have the perfect burgundy yarn to go with it. This is Wool of the Andes worsted. I forget the color name, but it's a nice wine burgundy color. However, I was looking for my 5mm needles, which I keep in this binder here, all my needles. And I couldn't find it in here, which can only mean that it's currently being used on a whip somewhere. So I dug through my whip pile and I found it attached to this sweater. It looks like nothing right now. It's also really scrunched up because I have these knitting cords holding onto the live stitches. But here's the needle in question. I had to do a little bit of digging to find out what this whip even was, and it's the Hadley sweater. This is a Sandnes Garn pattern. This is the booklet. It's the DIY 2302 booklet, and I'll show you pictures of the sweater. Yet again, just a really basic stockinette sweater. And I thought about frogging it, but I saw how much progress I had made. Like, this is the back panel, and I finished the left front panel, which is right here. And then looks like I'm almost done with the right front panel. So I figure I might as well just go ahead and finish the sweater. Also because there is mohair in here, and I really don't want to frog mohair. This is Wool of the Andes worsted, like I previously mentioned, and this, I believe, is from Zakami Yarns, and it's a brushed suri. I know for a fact I have 2 more skeins of this suri somewhere. I just spent a couple minutes looking for it and I couldn't find it. But this was the yarn combination. It looks like this cotton candy. Cotton candy is the only way I can describe this. It's like pastel-y, cotton candy-y. It's pretty fun. It's a fun spring sweater, which is when I started this on February 28th of this year. So I've dug this up again after 9 months, and I guess this is what I'm gonna be working on next.